What is going on, everybody? It is me, it is your old pal, the original gamer StevieStrow, and we are back for another exciting video game showcase for the Radio Shack TRS-80 color computer, also known as the CoCo. The game we are looking at today is Time Bandit from 1983. This game definitely makes the top 5 CoCo games of my childhood, playing on a CoCo 1 and a CoCo 2. And I'm going to jump in and show you the main screen, and then we're going to play this game. But this was a pretty unique game. So it says press spacebar to start. I'm hitting enter. That wasn't working. All right, so let's look at the main screen here. So one of the things you see here in the center, it says is you are the Time Bandit. And here are evil creatures that come out of the evil portals. These are the bad guys. Now this game is definitely based on and inspired by an arcade game called Tutankhamen, which was a 2D side-scrolling game where you had to shoot off bad guys, pick up treasures, and use a key to open a lock. So this has those similar elements, but Tutankhamen took place in one universe. It took place in Egypt. So all of the mazes were kind of pyramid inspired, Egyptian inspired. All of the enemies were that way. Time Bandit travels through 3 different worlds. You start off in the time gates here, as you see. And from the time gates, you can travel to different worlds. There's a fantasy world, there is a western world, and there's a space world. And each one of those worlds has 7 warps that takes you to a different playing field. So there's a total of 21 different unique levels. However, those levels can be revisited up to 16 times a piece. And each time you revisit the level, it changes things a little bit. So there's a lot of replay in here. 21 different main levels, 16 visits to each one. If you do the math, that's a lot. I can't do the math, but it's a lot. So it's a cool game. And so the fact that you changed scenery and you weren't always doing the same thing was kind of cool.
Let the Radio Shack TRS-80 put the world of color computing into your home. Instant loading program packs turn any color TV into an exciting game arcade. And there's more. The color computer is an educational aid, a home management tool, an up-to-the-minute electronic information service. The programmable, expandable TRS-80 color computer from $399 only at Radio Shack, the biggest name in little computers.
And right now we're just watching a little demo here, right? So we're watching the dude. Let's go ahead and start the game here, and let's see how quickly, or let's see how far I can get. So I'm using the joystick. Now you can move in 4 directions, but you can only shoot in 2. You can shoot left and right. You also, okay, so I can move and fire at the same time, which is a concern of mine. I'm holding the fire button down for rapid fire. I've already picked up the key and it said, okay, now open a gate. Now I've unlocked the different worlds. There's Western World, which has got the red bricks. There's the Fantasy World with the blue bricks, and Space World has got these weird looking doohickeys. Let's check out Space World first, shall we? I'm glad you asked. So I've just landed in the Space World. So they're kind of like mazes, right? And you have those little spinning things with the diamonds on them. Those are the portals that unleash the bad guys. Your first objective in every level is to grab the key and then to find the exit. Along the way, you will then also find treasures. Treasures will give you points. Oh, I guess I can only use 1 key at a time. I was confused as to why I could not grab that second key. So you will find treasures along the way. So this space world is pretty cool. Like, here's a ring. I just got a ring. So there's different bad guys. Some of these bad guys are robots. And this part here is very similar to Tutankhamen, right? So as soon as you're done, you will hit the lock and you have now completed that level. I've just returned to the time gates and now I can explore a new world. Each time, now when you get hit, you lose a little bit of your life. On the right-hand side of the screen is a vertical bar that's orange. That is my health bar. Let's go check out a Western world. And you notice each world has got like 7 different portals, so there's a lot to see in each world. So I see there are scorpions here. That's kind of cool. Here's a doohickey here, a treasure doohickey. Another treasure doohickey. Oh, cowboys. Howdy, partner. Ghosts from a ghost town. And scorpions. So those are very Western-inspired bad guys. I haven't gotten the key yet. Save keys to open doors. So a little bit of treasure here. I can never resist treasure. I don't know what to tell you. When I see a pick-me-up, I typically try to pick it up. It's an old habit. Old habits die hard. Now that I've gotten the key, let's try to find our way out of this crazy place, Jane. Okay, so I've just visited a Western world, I've visited a space world, and you'll notice that your time gates, when you revisit things, the difficulty picks up, right? So I keep coming back to these time gates, and now that I'm here for the third time, these guys are a little bit unhappy with me, and they're a little bit faster, a little bit more aggressive. Okay, now I'm in a fantasy world, and the fantasy world's kind of cool because I first thought it was kind of medieval, but it's not, because look at these dudes, they're Smurfs, right? So even though you've got the stones and the bricks that make me think of a castle, it's really more, you know, you have like an eye of the beholder here. You've got these weird looking cyclone storm thingies, and you got Smurfs. So it's an interesting motley crew of bad guys you got chasing you here. And I have now basically visited one of each world. And as I mentioned before, and the key will show up in a random spot. So every time you return to the time gates, wherever the key is at is slightly different. I am losing health every time one of these suckers gets me. They are much more faster and aggressive. And there's a treasure. It's something shiny. I can't pass it up. Sorry. So let's pick a different space world. Let's go all the way to the end. And let's pick this space world. Okay, I see that the key is right here. That's nice. There's robots, different kinds of robots and weird looking faces. I don't know what that face is, but he's obviously some type of alien, I guess. It's a space world, right? It's got to be an alien. You got robots. You have these one-way doors. That was a cool feature. You could go through, but then you couldn't go back. I don't know where I'm going to get out of here. There are kind of tunnels, horizontal and vertical tunnels that you could go through. So here I have to go through the tunnel. I'm going to have to make my way through. This is a one-way gate here. I can get in, but I can't get out. And here's my gate, and boom, I'm out. And I'm back at the time gates.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
This year, I needed to give a real family pleaser.
Honey, please, help me with this budget.
How about a new game, Dad? Please.
And I found it. Radio Shack's Color Computer 2. On sale for just $88. It entertains, educates, manages, it's expandable, and affordable. Now that really pleases me.
The Color Computer 2. Sale price for Christmas. Only at Radio Shack.
And the time gates, they mix themselves up. They kind of randomize the arrangements of things. So the more you re-enter an area, the more variation it will have and the more difficult it will have. You see here now that the Western world's in the bottom instead of the top. Let's do another Western world. Let's go all the way to the far right. And this is a cool game. This, from what I can tell, I mean, yes, it was inspired from an arcade game called Tutankhamen, but I believe this game originated on the CoCo. But I do know it has been ported. On Curtis Boyle's website, he talks about it being ported to the Atari ST and the Amiga, which I was not as much familiar with, but I do know this game was ported to the PC for when VGA graphics first came out. The PC port of this featured the 256 color VGA graphics, and it was quite impressive because VGA was pretty new at the time, and so to be able to see something with, at that time, the maximum amount of colors that a PC could produce and have a beloved game of my childhood recreated in ultra high color mode was pretty impressive. And if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to find the link eventually. I'm pretty sure that you can get that Time Bandit PC port. I believe there's a website that's got a lot of different DOS games you can play for free, emulated. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Time Bandit's in there. And if I get the chance, I'll put the link at some point in time, and I'll also maybe do a video on that. So I just did a Western World episode. I just did a second Western World. I'm getting confused here. I should do another fantasy world. Now, see, the mazes get pretty interesting here. And here's the key. So if nothing else, if it only had the 21 different levels, that in itself would be fairly impressive. But the fact that each time you revisit a level, it will kind of re-randomize some things. I don't know if it's completely random or if it's been pre-programmed, but it does change the arrangements of the maze and where things are and all kinds of stuff like that. It does give you a lot of variety. So this game gets mad credit for doing that, for being just kind of fun and creative. Alright, so now I'm back. I want to hit another fantasy world. And every time I revisit these time gates, man, it is just like, it is on like Donkey Kong here. Let's go in here. Let's get another fantasy world. Let's go straight down. This may be one I've already visited before. And so, and you can, and what I'm not even realizing here, because I'm running my mouth, I'm not really looking at everything on the screen. Each world you visit, there's a description for it. So this says the Halls of Doom. And it also tells you which one it is. So it's 1B. So that would be one way to track how many worlds you've been to, is either by remembering the names or just by remembering the number letter combinations for the various worlds. I was not paying attention to any of that before. There's so much going on here. I'm just really trying to focus on playing the game and not dying. And I'm doing a halfway decent job of doing that. Definitely a fun game. Definitely crammed a lot in. This game only required 32K of RAM. I am dying, so the screen is flashing. That's like your game over, man. Oh man, oh look, this is cool. This is really cool, these space warp looking things. These look like space stations. So instead of it just being a maze of blocks, it was like space stations. And then of course I died. That was Hyperspace 1A. And so let's go ahead and put in my name. And a nice feature is being able to put in more than 3 or 4 characters for a high score. Now, Bill Dunleavy and Harry Laffner, the authors here. If I'm not mistaken, Bill Dunleavy is also one of the co-authors of another really cool game called Cashman, which shares a lot of similar features. Cashman has a game over screen like this that kind of animates what the game looks like. Cashman has a high score table like this. Cashman also has just a ton of levels. Cashman had over 45 different levels to it, where this one has at least 21 plus all the varieties. So Time Bandit from 1983 by Mitchtron. Fun game. Look for this. Look for this on various platforms, not only on the CoCo, which I believe is where it originated. I could be wrong now. But it was apparently ported to the Amiga, the Atari ST, and I know for a fact it ran on DOS because I had it, and I've seen it recently. And I will try to not only find the link in the future and paste in the description of this video, but I will also probably record a video of me playing the VGA version of Time Bandit, which is definitely uber ultra colorful. So there you have it, folks. This was Time Bandit from 1983 for the Radio Shack TRS-80 color computer, also known as the CoCo, and I have been the original gamer, StevieStrow. So, did you like this video? Did you enjoy seeing this video game? If you just forget that I ran my mouth, just ignore me, turn the volume down, mute the video. Did you like watching the video? Because it is definitely a cool game. Well, if you did, if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, give this video a like, hit the thumbs up button, let me know that you liked it. Also, if you like this channel and you like seeing videos on classic computers as well as modern computers, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel by hitting the subscribe button. That way I can see how many people in the world are interested in the crazy things that I do. If there's something you'd like to say, throw out a comment. Tell me what you thought of this video. Tell me what you thought of this game. Tell me what you think of the channel. Tell me what you'd like to see in a future video. Whatever you got to say, I would love to hear it. So throw out those comments. I would also love it if you could share this video and share my channel with your friends and help me grow my audience, because I'd really love to see how many other people in the world are as crazy as I am and like seeing crazy videos about these crazy video games. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I have been the original gamer, StevieStrow, and I will see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.